Hello and welcome to Rathods IS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 15th December 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. And most of the topics that we are going to discuss, they are related directly to your static syllabus of your UPSC. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So say this first article, guys. See the title. Caught in the vortex of golden triangle. So what is the keyword here? Golden triangle. Okay. So in which subject you will be seeing this golden triangle? Only in IR? IS? Okay. From your GS paper to under international relations, you will be seeing that. Apart from that, it comes under your GS paper 3 under internal security. Why? It comes under organized crime. Next, can you connect it with any other subject in your syllabus? Geography, okay. GS1, geography. Next. How environment? Can I connect with GS paper to polity? Is there any relationship with this golden triangle with polity? How? Can anyone explain on that? So how it is related? This golden triangle, how it is related to your polity? Especially, I am talking about fundamental rights here. So what is the relationship between this golden triangle and fundamental rights? Right to life, okay. Keep on going, don't stop. It is Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. Next, any other fundamental rights can we relate it? Yes, very good. I want to talk about this point, that is human trafficking. So which article talks about this human trafficking? 23. Okay, let us go back to the title of the article. This is saying that caught in the vortex of golden triangle. So I want to tell you the gist of this article first. So humans are trafficked to work in this fields of this golden triangle area. So actually, you know that. What are the problems in our Indian society? You said somewhere. So problems in our society, we have unemployment, we have very low literacy. Next, poverty, hunger. So what are the solutions for this unemployment, poverty and hunger? What are the solutions? So they have to work somewhere, right? So actually what is happening here is, especially Indians, they are trafficked to work in this fields of this golden triangle. So it is affecting Article 23 and as well as Article 21 of these people. Okay. So now let us see this article in detail. So before that, tell me where exactly this golden triangle is located. Which are the countries? Myanmar, Thailand, Laos. So is there any area which is similar to that name? Crescent. So what is this golden crescent? Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan. So where is the India location? Exactly in between these two, right? So India is sandwich. So what is the sandwich? Yes. So India is sandwiched between this golden crescent and as well as golden triangle. So because of this, most of our problems in our society is because of this location of India, especially trafficking of humans, drug trafficking, that is addiction to these drugs. And because of addiction to this drug, there is increasing of crime rate in our country. So everything is related, maximum 40 to 50% of our problems in our society is related to our location. Okay, so now let us see this article clearly. So actually one person from Telangana was lured by a job offer and he was taken to Laos. So Laos is part of golden triangle. So what happens in this golden triangle exactly? Opium production will be high. So in India we are going for opium production anywhere? Yes. So for production of opium, do we need license? So tell me, in which states of India we are producing opium in our country? Maharashtra, I said this article and I said this news. Which Indian states are producing opium? So tell me why we are going for growing of this opium. What are the advantages of this opium? Medicine. So which kind of medicines that we can use? Cough syrups next. Painkillers, especially extreme pain is controlled by morphine, which is an alkaloid that we will get from this opium. Okay, so actually the problem here is many people of especially Indian origin, they are trafficked into this area for plantation workers, and as well as they are also forced into cyber crime. So this is the report which is said here. So the key important points which are said in this article here is many job seekers, they are falling as a victim to unregistered agents. So there will be certain agents. So these agents will be involving in human trafficking. So is that human trafficking legal or illegal? Illegal, right? So which are the acts which are present in our country which are stopping this human trafficking? Are there any acts? What are those acts that you might have read in your Lakshmikant in Article 23? Human trafficking and forced labor related acts. Those are articles. I'm asking about acts, laws. Okay, Prohibition of Human Trafficking Act. Can you tell me year? So one thing that you have to keep in your mind is if you are writing any act, you have to give the year also, because that act will not be static. There will be amendments which is going on. For example, if you are writing about Right Information Act, what is the year? MG Narega Act. So like that, if you are remembering any act which is absolutely important, you have to remember the years also. Okay. So next one here is human trafficking. Can I tell this is an example of organized crime? So organized crime will be happen in a very huge scale. That means they will be having huge networks or webs. Okay, so here there is an integrate web of trafficking which is involving not only in India but especially in the low and middle income countries. Organized crime, that is human trafficking, will happen. Okay, and next one here is there is abuse in trafficking. So actually whenever human trafficking is happening, so their articles, their fundamental rights like right to life and liberty, that is article 21 and also article 23 will be getting affected or not. Not only the fundamental rights, but even they will be not having the basic human rights, because once human trafficked, so what are the work which is given to them, they have to do that. It is compulsory for them, right? So there will be no sanitation, even there is no minimum working hours. So those are the conditions which is leading to the violation of human rights of that people. And even there is no opportunity, like they will be coming out of that web, right? So because of this, they will be also not having other income opportunities. So that here we have to take proper measures to control this. Yes or no? Because it is against the fundamental rights. If somebody's fundamental right is violating, here obviously government need to take some steps to control that, right? So that is the thing which mainly said here. So we need to go for proper rescue operations. As you all know that during Britishers' time itself, human trafficking was happened. Yes or no? Especially Britishers, they used to have colonies. In that colonies, they used to have plantations will be there. For example, coffee plantations, tea plantations, or sugarcane plantation. So actually that plantation work is very heavy labor dependent. For example, if you go to tea, so tea will be, every leaf will be plucked by a labor. So that in this plantations they need huge amount of labor. So they used to traffic Indians in this plantation. So from since ancient and as well as even from modern history period onwards, this tradition of human trafficking is happening. So even after we got independence also, despite of many laws, still this is happening. So as a future bureaucrats, you have to think like how you have to control this human trafficking. So now tell me what are the measures can be taken from your side. What are the measures can be taken? So your answer should be very practical. Tell me what measures can be taken. So you know that there are many laws which are present in our country to prevent that. But despite of that, it is still going on. And there are many reports which are saying this, not I'm not saying this. So there are many reports are saying that still human trafficking is going on. So what can be the measures can be taken from your side? Proper education, proper awareness. Okay, next. So the root cause here is there is no proper employment opportunities. So there is increasing of poverty, increasing of hunger. So how can you address those? Don't murmur, say aloud. Come on, come on. There are also like huge network. So if you are a police officer, IPS officer, how can you handle that kind of network? You may get this case study in next exam. Okay, skills and education. Okay, next. Can we promote MSME? Yes or no? MSME is like a growth engine of a country. So if you're promoting MSME, obviously we can increase employment opportunities because it is not possible for each and everyone to get government jobs. Next. So the mindset of the people should be changed from working in a company rather than, so actually everyone will be thinking that they want to get opportunity, but why they will be not thinking that they have to create employment? That means can we promote entrepreneurship? So if you are promoting entrepreneurship, especially in youth, what happened? We are creating more amount of startups. Whenever we are creating more amount of startups, obviously we can create employment opportunities. Next, how can we control this unemployment other than this? Okay, subsidies. Okay, from government side, if they are giving some subsidies, more startups can be established. Next. Okay, like taxes. Okay, next. So what are the requirements to start any business? We need license from the government. That means license giving process should be very simplified. Next, ease of doing business. Next, investments. If you are attracting more amount of investments, obviously we can create more employment. Next, come on, think, you can do it. Okay, industrial corridors, economic corridors. Okay, next. Come on, you have to talk. Even it is wrong, you have to say something. Mm. So how, why? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have to even focus on awareness programs regarding whenever they want to seek any job in any other country, we have to go through the government so that they will be not fall into the prey of human trafficking. Okay, so what is the meaning of human trafficking? It is nothing but it is any form of recruitment or transportation, transfer or harboring or receipt of a people through force. So force should be involved, or else it may be fraud or it may be deception. So why? The important aim is exploiting them for their own profit. So men, women and children, all ages of people from all backgrounds, they can become victims of this crime. And it not only happen in India, in every part of the world, human trafficking is going on because some people, for their own profit, they are going for this human trafficking. Okay, especially the kind of methodologies they are using now is fraudulent employment agencies. And this one is using of violence and even fake promises of getting education in abroad or like employment opportunities or job opportunities in abroad. So in this way, they are trapping these people. And what is the relationship between human trafficking and organized crime? Is there any relation? So whenever they are recruiting people or trafficking of people, yes, it is there wish that in which area they want to recruit, they want to place them, they will place them, right? So some will be employed in like this kind of plantation. Some will be employed in cyber crime related things because whatever the skill they need, they will be giving that training and they will be keeping that. So it is 100% for them to do that work. So if they are not doing, their life will be in risk. Okay, so because of this, whenever human trafficking is happening, there will be also increased organized crime. So whenever there is increasing of organized crime, then what happens? There will be increasing of black money, right? So because of increasing of black money, what happens? Economic development will be increased or decreased? Decreasing of economic development. How? The revenue to the government will be obviously decreased. Okay, and even there will be increased burden on the government to control these activities as well. So what are the constitutional and legislative provisions related to this human trafficking? As I said, we have Article 23 subclass 1, and apart from that we have many laws. That is Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956. It is exclusively talking about prevention of trafficking for commercial sexual exploitation. So especially in this human trafficking, women are mostly trafficked, especially for the sexual exploitation. So for that, we have an act, and we came up this act in year 1956 itself. That is Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956. And this one is we have Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2013, which is providing a comprehensive measures like how to counter the menace of human trafficking. Okay, especially they are talking about trafficking of children, and even for sexual exploitation, slavery, and as well as servitude, etc. And we have POCSO, that is Prevention of Children from Sexual Offence Act of 2012, especially it is protecting children from sexual abuse and exploitation. And also we have other acts like Prohibition of Child Marriage Act of 2006, and we have Bonded Labor System Abolition Act of 1976, Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act of 1986, Transplantation of Human Organs Act of 1994. So nowadays human trafficking is happening not only for sex or not only for any other things, but even for organs also. Now human trafficking is happening. So it is a one new form of trafficking. So for this also we had act. Okay, so do we have any international conventions? Because it is not only happening in India, but as I said, it is happening throughout world. So is it the responsibility of our international organizations to control this? Yes. So do we have any convention so far? Any idea? United Nations. Next, the thing that will come easily from you is United Nations. Apart from that, any conventions idea? Because whenever you are writing way forward or measures, you have to include that for sure. So for that thing only I'm saying this. So tell me any United Nations. So tell me about what is the convention name of United Nations. IR is going on, guys. Tell me. Very good answer. So we have United Nations Convention. So actually India also ratified this United Nations Convention on Transnational Organized Crime. So write down this UNCTOC. Okay, UNCTOC, that is United Nations Convention on Transnational Organized Crime, which talks about this human trafficking. So especially it talks about prevention, suspension and punishment of trafficking in persons. Especially deals with women and children. So don't say about discrimination here. It is about women and children. And next one is we have SARC convention. So what is the SARC? Which are the members of the SARC? South Asian Association. Okay, regional cooperation. So tell me which are the countries members of the SARC? Afghanistan, South Asian countries. Oh, very good. Tell me those. How many countries members? How many? Number? 8? Okay, so we also have the SARC convention, and also India ratified this SARC convention. It is talking about women and children trafficking itself. And apart from that, with different countries, we have bilateral agreements. Okay, see this article. Conclude European Union India FTA to counter forces of protectionism. So what is the keyword? FTA. Apart from that FTA, can you see any keyword? EU. Next. I want this word protectionism. What is the meaning of protectionism? To protect from taxes. Wow. So US is following this protectionism policy. What is the meaning of protectionism? To protect what? To protect their domestic industries. So how the countries they protect their domestic industries? What can they do? Okay, they will be increasing tax on products from other countries. Yes, other country products on which they will increase tax. Next, there will be tariffs. Okay, they will provide domestic subsidies. Very good. Next, especially it is import trade. Next, import tax. Next, tariffs, import tax, and subsidies to the domestic industries. So these are the measures can be taken by the government to protect their own domestic industries. Okay, for example, let us take a country which is having this protectionist policy. Then what will be the impact on global trade? Okay, let us take this scenario like every country, each and every country is having this protectionist policy. That means they want to promote their own domestic industries. Then what will be the impact on global trade? Impact on global trade. Can we ensure free and fair trade? No. Then what will be the role of WTO? Role of WTO will be reduced. Next, what about needs and wants of the people? Needs and wants of the people. Can we address each and every need and want of the people of a country? No. Okay. What about supply chains? Disruption. Next. What about global GDP? Reduced. What is this concept of globalization? The significance of this globalization will be breaking down. Yes. Okay. So now tell me, is there any word which is opposite to protectionism? Yes, very good. So opposite of this protectionism is free trade agreement. So what is this free trade agreement? There will be no tariffs, no taxes, so that we can ensure free and fair trade between the countries. But one important thing that you have to remember is free trade agreement is bilateral. That means the country should have this agreement with another country so that there will be free and fair trade between two countries. So here, if you see this article, it is saying that European Union India Free Trade Agreement. That means if you are finalizing this free trade agreement between India and European Union, we can ensure trade, proper trade between these two. So tell me about something regarding European Union. What is this European Union? Okay, economic and political organization. How many countries are part of this? 27. Okay. So that means if you are having free trade agreement between India and European Union, what will be the advantage for India? What will be the advantage? We can increase our Indian exports. Okay, we can increase our foreign reserves. Next, we can have access to 27 markets, 27 international markets. That means, can we increase our production now? Then what happened? That will lead to increasing of economic activity. That will lead to increasing of our GDP. Next, now if you are having free trade agreement with these two, can we increase attraction of investments into our country? So because of increasing of investments, what happened? Again, increasing of employment opportunity. That will lead to increasing of economic growth. In turn, we can address problems of hunger, poverty, unemployment, whatever it may be. That means overall, do we get advantage of this FTA or not? Because I'm not talking about this single country here. If you're having this entire agreement with the grouping, we will be having huge advantage. Okay. So that is a thing, nothing more than that. Nothing is given here rather than that. So just see about this, what is this free trade agreement? So it is an agreement between two or more nations So here in the case of European Union, it is with 27 grouping. So it is to reduce barriers to import or to export among them. That means there will be no trade barriers. So under this free trade policy, goods and services can be brought and sold across international borders with little or no government tariffs, no quota, subsidies, or prohibition or inhibit everything, so that we can ensure free and fair trade. Yeah, say this article. Okay, let us go on to this polity now. Can the vice president be impeached? So what is the keyword? Impeachment of vice president. Okay, from which subject? Polity. Okay, tell me about articles related to vice president, guys. Vice president articles 66, 66, 67, 63. Next. Okay, tell me about who appoints this vice president. Okay, who elected? Who elect? What is electoral college? Nominated members. What about state legislative assembly? No role. Okay. So what is the tenure? What is the function? Only presiding of Rajya Sabha or any other function? He acts as president whenever president post is vacant. So there are only two functions for this vice president, right? Ex officio member of chairman of Rajya Sabha. Next one is if in case president is not present, he will be acting as a president. Okay, so tell me about who will remove this person. Removal. Special majority. Is that correct? Special majority? It is not special majority, it is effective majority. Okay. So do you know now the present vice president is going to be impeached because of some allegations. So do you know what are the allegations why this people they want to pass this no confidence motion, opposition party? Vice president is always favoritism, nepotism. Okay. So do you know the procedure of removal of this vice president? What is the procedure need to be followed? Prior notice of 14 days. After that, that motion should be present in which house? Rajya Sabha. So can we introduce that motion Lok Sabha? No. First of all, it should be present in passed or we have to introduce that in Rajya Sabha. And what is the majority? That is effective majority. After passing in Rajya Sabha, it have to be placed in Lok Sabha. In Lok Sabha also we need effective majority. After passing this, we can say that vice president is removed. Okay, simple majority. Okay, very good. Next, what are the things? That's it. So here just to see about some articles which are given here. So vice president is the second highest constitutional authority after the president. Vice president draws his or her powers from Article 63. Okay, so the powers of vice president is said in Article 63. And one more article here is Article 64 confers upon the post of the power to serve as an ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha is said in Article 64. And next one is you have to see Article 67. Okay, Article 67 is nothing but removal of both vice president and as well as Rajya Sabha chairperson as laid under Article 67. So here you may get a question regarding which of the following articles of vice president are correctly matched, and they may give like 63, 64, 67, or else you may get directly the question like which of the following article talks about removal of vice president. And this year vice president is very, very important. Last year president elections was there, right? So there was a question regarding president. And this year, because of this impeachment of vice president, yes, you may get question. And this is not for the first time. In this year, it is second time. Okay, that is the thing, the same thing that you studied in your. Okay, see this article. How can gene therapy cure hemophilia? What is this hemophilia? Already we discussed. What is this hemophilia? Hemo means something related to blood. So this hemophilia is a condition where we have bleeding disorders. So normally whenever we are having cut, platelets will be getting activated, and there are 20 more other proteins which will be involved in this process of formation of coagulation, that is blood clot. So there are certain factors which are deficient. So in earlier class I missed one thing. I missed about types of hemophilia. So in this we have three types: hemophilia type A, hemophilia type B, and hemophilia type C. So in this blood coagulation process, there are 20 proteins which are involved. So in this hemophilia A, we have deficiency of factor 8. Okay, factor 8 deficiency is hemophilia A, and here we have deficiency of factor 9. Factor 9. And here we have deficiency of factor 11. So this is the thing, and you may get a question on this. And tell me, what is the gum which we can use for gene therapy? Ligase. What is the Caesar, molecular Caesar? CRISPR-Cas9. So on this also you may get question. Okay. So this is the image so that you can understand what is this hemophilia. So if you're having a normal blood vessel, if there is any rupture or any damage or any injury, so blood will be getting clotted. So this is the phenomena which happens in healthy individual. So in the normal blood cell, if there is any injury, if there is inability to clot happens, it causes this kind of disease called as hemophilia. Why this is dangerous? If something is happening on our surface of body, we will be seeing that, we will be doing something at least. But what happens if something damage which happens inside your body? For example, if you had any injury, sometimes you may see that there will be green color or black color part, right? So that is nothing but because of internal bleeding. Bleeding is not happening outside, but bleeding is happening internally. That condition is called as internal bleeding. If something happens bleeding internally, if there is no proper clotting, then what happens? It will leads to internal bleeding, and that internal bleeding leads to swelling of that area. We can't control that condition. So because of this, hemophilia is dangerous. Okay, so it is especially related to internal bleeding of your body. So what are the causes? As I said, the clotting regulation will be not properly happens in your body. So when you bleed, a series of reactions that takes place in your body that helps your blood to clot, and this formation of clotting is called as coagulation cascade, because multiple reactions will happen in your body, and it involves as many as 20 different special proteins called as coagulation or clotting factors will be involved. So in hemophilia A, 8th clotting factor is deficient. In hemophilia B, 9th clotting factor is deficient. In hemophilia C, 11th clotting factor is deficient. Okay, so here hemophilia caused by lack of blood clotting factor 8. So because of this, what happened? Clotting cannot happen properly. That will leads to bleeding. So what will be the symptom? So if clotting is not happening, continuous bleeding will happen. That will leads to blood loss. If internal bleeding happens, that will leads to joints, muscles, everything, pains will happen. Okay, the lack of coordination between the muscles will happen because of this internal bleeding. And see this article, bovine H5N1 displays pronounced neurotropism in many mammals. So especially focus on this H5N1. What is this H5N1? Avian influenza, that is bird flu. So what happens in this bird flu? Birds will be getting flu. Do we have any treatment? No. What is the last thing that you can do? Just you will be culling the necks. That means you will be breaking the necks. What happens with the breaking of neck? Death of animals. So if any poultry farm which is affected by this avian influenza, so last thing that they will do is just culling of necks of the birds. That will lead to huge economic loss. As you all know that India is focusing on improving of meat production and improving of egg production. So recently I said about a data regarding which of the state in India is first and second in meat and egg production. Tell me now. AP, meat production, milk production. I said about these three things: milk, meat, and egg. Milk, Gujarat. Come on, come on. Anni mive. Milk UP, not Gujarat. Next. Eggs. Eggs Andhra. Meat. You will consume less compared to Telangana. It is not like if you are consuming more, we should produce more, right? We will be getting from other states also. You have to revise the things. Okay, so what happens here is if there is any case of breakdown of this H5N1, especially in southern states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka, we will be having this avian influenza, which will be affecting ducks and as well as poultry. It will be causes huge economic losses for that state because there is no permanent cure for this H5N1. Okay, and see this article. Drones transforming farming market to touch $631 million by 2030. What is this article? Okay, drones in farming. So can you tell me types of drones? Classification of drones: small, nano, medium, large, very large. Next, super large, hyper large. Very good. So tell me about the applications of drones. In which areas we will be using these drones? Defense, precision agriculture, health, terrorism. Okay. So recently government also approved for Namo Drone Didi program. So what is this Namo Drone Didi program? Empowerment of women. So women can provide drones on rental services for which field? Agriculture. Okay, now this article is saying that whenever we are using drones in farming, we can transform our agriculture. So in how many ways, or how these drones are contributing for transforming of our farming? Tell me how. Okay, spraying of pesticides next. Agriculture only, tell me. In agriculture. Seeds, how? Sowing of seeds. Next. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Okay, to ensure soil health. Next. So what is the problem in, okay, surveillance, okay. So what is the problem in rural areas now? Migration. So many people, they are migrating to urban areas. So as you all know that agriculture is a labor intensive work, especially during sowing, during transplantation, during harvesting, during spraying or weeding. We need a lot of labor, but there is no proper availability of labor. Then what happens? Is it a problem? So that problem can be mitigated by using of these drones. Even we can use drones for proper surveillance. What is happening, in which area they are having water, which area they are not having water. So in which area they need more amount of nutrients. So in which area they can spray. So for example, if you are using this manual labor, so it will be taking 2 days of time for weeding. But if you are using these drones, within hours of time, you can spray this fertilizer or any pesticides, everything, right? That means it will be also saving time and even work is done efficiently compared to that of humans. So labor, they will be doing some work only paina, but they will not do like that. They will do everything clean and green. Okay. So drones are revolutionizing our Indian agriculture, and another side it will create, but actually the problems in rural areas is because of rural to urban migration. So there is no availability of labor, and even if the labor are coming, they are demanding huge. So even especially in our village, for labors it is around 850 to 900 rupees per a day. So how a small farmer can afford that much? Rather than that, if they are getting one drone for rent, they can do work entirely within 2 to 3 hours. Rental charges is also very less, no? MG Narega. So drones are revolutionizing Indian agriculture, and actually this area which is very fast growing, and it is contributing a lot for our economy as well. Okay, so how it is transforming our farming, especially it is changing our traditional farming practices. Like we are replacing men with these drones. And one more disadvantage is it is also creating unemployment in rural areas. So we are increasing efficiency and also we are reducing operational cost, and we are also making them essential for our modern agriculture. So nowadays we are saying that if we want to increase agriculture productivity, so we have to go for mechanization of agriculture. So can I add this using of drones under this mechanization of agriculture? Yes. So it is also one new form of our modern agriculture. And next one is there is also increasing of market value, especially whenever we are starting using these drones in agriculture, there will be increasing of demand. So whenever there is increasing of demand, obviously so and so company, they will be going for production of more units of drones. Obviously that will be creating employment opportunities, and even that will be contributing to our economic activity and increasing of our economic growth. And one more thing here is we have an aim of achieving this developed country status by 2047 under this Fixed Bharat. If you're not going for modernization of our agriculture, which is a primary sector, how can we change the status of India from developing to developed? We can't. So we have to go for mechanization of agriculture. So in that, one example is drones. And even we have a problem of labor shortage in agriculture. Okay. And next one here is government support. Government is also promoting these drone applications. For example, Namo Didi program. Okay, so you have to see that what is Namo Didi program, and whenever you are writing an answer regarding SHG, so there also you can include this Namo Didi program, where government is directly supporting this woman to provide rental services. Okay, and next one is even this will be also promoting your sustainable farming, because we are using resources optimally so that we can reduce an environmental impact on agriculture. For example, if you are keeping a manual labor to spray the pesticides, whatever the bags that you are getting, that will be going into your fields only. Is that leads to sustainable farming? No, right? So if you are using drones, especially how much amount of fertilizer or pesticides is required, that will be using only that much amount, so that will be also controlling your environmental pollution. That will be also keeping the water bodies which are present near you fresh. Okay, if there is increasing of nitrogen phosphorus amount, what it causes? Algal blooms. Yes or no? It is also one negative impact of using of more pesticides and fertilizers into your agriculture. That problem can be solved or not. So in this way, we can also achieve SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, of keeping proper life in the water and oceans. Clear? So these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching, and if you like this class, please hit the like button. And even we are going to start new batch of foundation for 2026 UPSC. If you want to take admission, you can call me on the number which is appearing on the screen. That is 8074765513. Thank you guys, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IS Academy.